In this video I'm going to go over the basics of crochet, all the basic crochet stitches. So let's start here. Every crochet project starts with a slip knot. So I'm using some bulky yarn and a large crochet hook and a cat here to demonstrate this to you. So the way I tie a slip knot is I wrap the yarn around my finger to get a little loop. Then I take the part of the yarn that's connected to the ball still and push another little loop up through it. And then the end of the yarn that's not attached to the ball, I pull on that and it tightens around the bottom to make an adjustable slip knot. Now the first thing I guess I should talk to you about with regards to crochet is holding your yarn. And there's all kinds of different ways to hold the yarn. This is basically how I hold it. Of course, you have your slip knot. You have your working yarn, which is attached to the ball of yarn. You have your non-working yarn that just hangs down below here. I'm right-handed, so I hold my crochet hook in my right hand. I then take my working yarn and put it between my index finger and middle finger and hold it there to get my tension. And then I take my thumb and my other two fingers and kind of pinch the work there to keep it steady. And then when I go to work, I can just keep the tension with these two fingers and keep a hold of this. And then as my work grows, I can let go and pinch it up closer to the hook to give me some more leverage there. But basically, however you want to hold the yarn yourself is the most comfortable for you. That's going to be the best way for you to use it. We have to start with some kind of a foundation. If my cat will let me, she's being very annoying today. We start with some kind of a foundation in order to add our stitches to, which is usually some kind of a chain. So when you see in a pattern that says to chain, this is what it's referring to. To chain, you simply take your hook, grab some yarn, which is called yarning over, and then you pull that through the previous loop that was on your crochet hook and pull up another loop. And then you do the same thing again. And each one of these little loops is called a chain. So you'll chain for however many stitches you want in your piece. So however many chains I do, that's how wide or long this piece is going to be. Now let's look at the next part of crochet. We'll look at the single crochet stitch. So once again, you start off with a chain of stitches that you'll work into to create the foundation of your piece. However many stitches you want, if you're going to do a single crochet, you will chain that many stitches and then you'll do one additional stitch. Okay? Because that additional stitch you do counts as the first stitch in your next row, basically. So if you want 10 total stitches, you'll chain 10 plus 1, which is 11 stitches, so that way you have 10 stitches when you finish up, okay? So now our first row of actual crocheting, our single crochet stitch, we're going to go into the second chain from the hook, which what this means is this one on the hook does not count. We're going to go into the second one from the hook. So there's 1, 2. Okay, you're going to stick your crochet hook through that chain, grab the yarn, pull it up through so that you have 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to hook the yarn again and pull it through both of those loops. And that is a single crochet. So we do it again, we stick it through the chain, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, so that we have 2 loops on our hook, then grab the yarn again and pull it through both of those loops. Through the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both of those loops. Through the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both of the loops on the hook. With crochet, you're always going to have one loop on the hook whenever you finish your stitch, no matter what stitch you're doing. So through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Alright, so here we are on our last one. We put it through the chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both of those loops. So there's our row of single crochets. Now, to start our next row, we are going to turn our work and work back down the other side. When you're doing single crochets, to start the next row, you'll always start with a single chain. And that counts as your first stitch of your next row. And then once again, we're going to go into the second chain from the hook, or second stitch from the hook. So not this one, but this one here, to make our next stitch. Now, for this row and all the other rows, when you are putting your hook through, instead of going into a chain, you're going into the previous stitch. So you see here at the top we have like a little V shape here. That is the top of the stitch. You're going to go in from the side, however, so you're going to stick it through underneath both of those V's. So if you see here on the side, there's kind of a little hole here. You stick it through that hole underneath both of those V's. And that's where you pull up your loop, draw through, and pull through both of those loops. So stick it through under both of those V's, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both of those loops. Through. And it helps to count as you're doing this. If at the end of each row, count your number of stitches, make sure that you have the same amount of stitches that you started, or you can count as you go along too. So just find that little hole, stick it through under both of those legs of that V, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Nice. And then this last stitch is a little hard to see sometimes because it kind of folds over on itself, but there you see there's the V. We're going to stick through both legs of it. Just gonna be a little fiddly there. There we go. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both those loops. So now we're at the end. To start the next row, we simply chain 1, turn the work around, and then stick through the second stitch from the hook, and work our way back across again. The next stitch we're going to look at is the half double crochet, and it starts once again the same way. We're going to start with a slip knot on our hook, and we're going to chain the number of stitches. So let's chain 10 stitches. 10 stitches. Okay, now the half double crochet, remember when we talked about the single crochet, we did the number of stitches we wanted plus 1. For the half double crochet, we're going to chain 2 more. So we have our 10 stitches, so we're going to chain 2 more stitches. Okay, and for this one, instead of the second chain from the hook, we're going to work into the third chain from the hook. So this one on the hook doesn't count. There's 1, 2, 3. It'll be this chain here. Half double crochet starts out by yarning over first. You're going to create an extra loop on your hook. So we yarn over, then stick it through the chain, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And we see we have 3 loops on our hook. Then we just yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So yarn over, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over, through the chain, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And basically the half double crochet is kind of like 1.5 single crochets. When you look at the height wise. So yarn over, through the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now when we get to the end of this row and we start the next one, it's going to be a little different again. Instead of with single crochets, we chained 1 to start the next row. The last stitch here. For my next row of half double crochets, however, I'm going to have to chain 2. Just like when we cast on at first, we added 2 extra chains. We're going to do the 2 extra chains here to start. Turn the work, and then we're going to go into the third one from the hook. So 1, 2, 3. And we go through the stitches just like we did for the single crochet. You're going to yarn over into that little hole right there underneath both legs of that V stitch at the top. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over, through the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And there you go. There's 2 rows of half double crochet. So the next stitch we'll look at is the double crochet. So once again, we are going to start with a slip knot, and we're going to chain the number of stitches we want. And then for the double crochet, we're going to add 3 stitches to this. 1, 2, 3. And the double crochet is very similar to the half double crochet. There's just one little extra step to it, and we're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to yarn over just like you did to start the half double crochet. Go into that 4th chain from the hook, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, but this time you only pull through 2 of them and leave 2 stitches on the hook, and then yarn over again and pull through those 2. So there's like a little extra step there. So yarn over, through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again. Yarn over, through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Go through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2 again. Yarn over, through the stitch, yarn over, pull up the loop, through 2, and then through 2 again. So here we are on our last stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So to start our next row, we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn the work. Yarn over and go through the 4th stitch from the hook. Yarn over, through the stitch. To 2, and through 2. There's 2 rows of double crochet. So the last stitch we're going to look at is the triple crochet. And you can probably guess how that's going to go. We're going to start with a chain of however many stitches we want. So there's 10. And for the triple crochet, we're going to add 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to work into the 5th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one here. For the triple crochet, you're going to wrap the yarn twice. yarned over twice, so we start with 3 loops on the hook. We go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, which gives us 4, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again, and yarn over, pull through 2 again. So we're pulling through 2 stitches 3 times. That's what makes it a triple crochet. So yarn over twice, into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over twice, into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you just continue this way all the way down until you get to the end. This yarn is really not the greatest for crocheting. And we see there's the triple crochet. So of course the triple crochet is a little holier. The more loops you have on your crochet stitch, then the more space there's going to be between each one. So if this was the end and we were going to turn and work back the other way, we would do like we cast on the extra 4 stitches. We're going to chain 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the work, double wrap, go into that 5th one from the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Double wrap it into the stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And that is the triple crochet stitch.